Good morning. How is everyone doing today? I had a subscriber's request to show, actually a couple of them, how I make my own crackle for crackling. So it started with, remember this box. I have a video on how I decorated it, but move up here so you can see. This crackle was done with paint and glue. It was a oatmeal box. So on this one, what I had to do was paint the bottom layer first to get the color that I wanted to pop through, and then added the glue, and then the top, this white paint. That's how I got that pink to show through. So if you're covering a box or a design or something that you're not fond of, you'll have to put a bottom layer of paint down first and let it dry. But I want to show you today and share with you another technique for doing it on our normal paper. So this is a teal colored paper. So this would replicate the bottom layer of paint. So we're just, if this was our box, we would need to paint it this blue, but our paper is already colored. So I just take normal Elmer's glue and generously coat it. Now, if you were using paint for that first layer, you have to make sure that that is dry very well before you add the glue. If it's not, you'll see in the steps how it immediately gets all mushy and kind of swirls together. You might like that, but kind of makes a mess. So depending on which way you run your brush is which way your crackles are gonna primarily go. So keep that in mind also. So you can see on your paper, I don't know if you can see through the video, but where you get it covered, and then it'll show little spots that aren't covered. You just make sure that you cover it well. And then once I get to that point, this one here has been sitting for a few minutes, and it's got some heavy glue on it. I'm going to hit it with the heat gun, so I apologize for the noise if it's loud, just to kind of help it get a little more tacky. You don't want it all the way dried because that defeats that cracking. It's the glue, but I want it definitely tacky. And I can see some spots that are drying, the thinner spots. So I just use just the crackle, or just the acrylic paint, quick drying, and then I just kind of give myself some, that might have been just too much. And you just coat it. Oh, yeah, I should have been a little more gentle with that. Because I have some paint. So you want to be a little more ginger when you're dropping your paint drops. Oh, I'll show you on this one. So when this isn't ready, when you grab it, can you see how it does that? It's just pulling the glue away because it's not tacky enough. See if I can use, oh, well, let's see how that happens. Shoot. So there's another word for you, not to overwork your glue. But this is where, let's just continue. This is where, I'm going to hold it up here so that you can see. When you hit it with the glue gun now, if you watch, you'll see the heat gun, you'll see the crackling. Up here right before your eyes. See how it's starting to crackle? Try to get out of your way. It doesn't look bad with it pulled apart right there. Good. I can still use this. And you can tell when it's dry. If you look at it kind of from an angle, you can see it shiny. And that's the glue underneath. So there's that one. And let's just go ahead and hit this one now that we had to paint it, and you'll see this one crackle. And it's actually quite quick, especially if you're not having to paint that first layer. You know, with that first layer, you only add a few extra minutes because the craft paint dries so quick. Okay, there. So this is what it looks like when you kind of blend the glue with the top layer of paint. It's got some thinner spots, which actually might not be a bad idea. I'll show you my examples that I have. So I did this one, and it is pink, and if you can see, let me stand up and see. You can see I actually stamped on the paper before I glued it, and there's hints of it that are coming through where the spots are lighter, but definitely not much in the darker areas. So I guess if you wanted to stamp using this method where you kind of blend it together, I bet we would be able to see the stamp a lot better. And then this is what it looks like when it's crackled. So the heavier the paint, of course, the heavier the crackling marks are. And that one's still a little wet. I also did this one to show you. Getting the light here. Once it's dry, you can stamp on it, and it takes stamp really nice. Get that there. But again, you want to make sure that it's dry. You'll know when it's not dry because you'll lift some of your paint. So maybe do these up, you know, before you're ready to start stamping and making it, you know, your tag or your pocket or whatever you want to use them for. And then here's another one that I did just to kind of show you the difference. I was playing with this one just to see. This is that same pink paper, but with gray over the top of it. It's kind of mudded looking. And it also, I just threw some stamp on there just to see. But any color, you can crackle over any color using this. And it's on there. And you can bend it and nothing's flaking off. You know, it'd probably be up to you whether or not you wanted to seal it with Mod Podge. I don't know why you would need to, but it is glue. On my box, I glued right over the top of it. Right here with all of the trims and stuff. And I had no problem with any of that coming off or anything, so. All right, well, I hope you guys found that an interesting technique, or one that you can use in your own journaling supply arsenal. And I appreciate all of your comments and everybody that has been subscribing to my channel. I'm extremely grateful for you. So continue to craft more with you, ladies and guys. So thank you and have a great day.